Hey, what's up guys? Hope everybody's doing very well. So can you imagine that someone would actually disagree with you in stating that Keith Richards is a great guitar soloist?
I'd like to have an argument, please.
Now with a fanboy like ourselves, that's gonna be quite a passionate conversation right there. Now of course I think Keith Richards is a great guitar soloist. And the solo on Star Star, which is actually Starfucker, but Star Star is the censored title. That solo might be even one of the coolest he did on record, I think. It's very short, obviously, but it's back with Chuck Berry ideas and it's just fun. It's played with a lot of edge and attitude, great guitar sound and great timing. You can find the song on the Goat's Head Soup album from 1973, but it's actually a newly released deluxe version out of that album. It contains new great sounding mixes, but also some new releases. So for Stones fans, that's pretty exciting. Make sure to check that out. So in this video we're going to learn how to play this great guitar solo, but we also do a little bit of analyzation, but just a little bit to help you implement the ideas for your own guitar and solistic improvisational purposes. We'll also take a look at the sounds I used to create the track from the intro and the recording setup, and trying to replicate Keith Richards' guitar sound at least a little bit. Now, Goat's Head Soup was recorded a little bit all over the place, in studios in Jamaica, in the US and in the UK, and unfortunately there's not so many studio pictures to study amp setups. Here you have one, you see an Ampeg combo behind Keith, and you see Ampeg heads there, and there's a Fender Vibratone, it's a Leslie speaker. And you see a Silverface champ there on the ground. Now, it is common knowledge that many great classic guitar sounds in rock and roll are made using tiny combos, small combos and tiny amps. And the sounds you hear on Star Star, both the rhythm guitar on the left and the lead guitar, sound a little bit odd. And I'm pretty confident that that guitar sound is created using a Gibson style guitar with the tone control rolled all the way down. And using a tiny speaker in a tiny overdriven amp to create that sound. It's a rolled off sound, but it's not a dull or muddy sound at all. It's a bit of a resonant voice. Now for most guitar recordings I do here, I use my Torpedo captor, which is a reactive low box, and I hook up an actual tube amp of choice. Somehow the sound I was looking for Star Star was quite hard to replicate like that. Maybe this tiny speaker overdrive is not there yet in the impulse response world. So I went and took some old school mics and I used this amp instead. Now this is the Champion 600 amp, the reissue one, but this one is modified to sound and to feel exactly like a 5F1 Tweed style amplifier. If you're interested in how to do that, I will include a link in the description below to the video I made doing the modification to this very amp. And please note I also replaced the output transformer, the speaker is upgraded to a Eminence 620H, and the grill cloth is replaced as well. And that stuff will help to give your amp a less harsh, more balanced, overdriven rock and roll sound. Now the microphone setup is a pretty straightforward pair of SM57, and sometimes you will get lucky with the phase using a stereo bar, but you always have to check the phase and line them up where necessary. You can actually supplement the closed mics with a large membrane or ribbon mic a little bit outside of the amp to capture more of the image of the amplifier itself and that speaker drive and a wider range of frequencies. I didn't do that in this occasion. And with all of that quite unnecessary gear sliding out of the way, it's now time to go to the guitar lesson. Have fun. Okay, we're gonna do this line by line, and each line is gonna last for about 2 bars, which also happens to be the tempo of the chord progression, most of the time anyway. First line. So it's an upbeat. Note-wise, what's happening is we're gonna bend up this G note, which happens to be a major second over F. The chord's gonna be in F. We're gonna bend it up to the major third. Back, tonic. This is going to be a major 6. Next line. Harmonically is actually pretty cool what's happening here. We're gonna hear this as a tonic over the chord of C. So we have a tonic. This is going to be a 5th. Be bended up to the 6th. He plays this F regardless. That's going to be a sus over C, but we're not going to be bothered with that too much right now. So sus, major second, but that's not necessary to overanalyze that. What's cool is that you hear this tonic and then this 5th to major 6 sound. Next line. That's a 4-bar line. Doesn't matter too much. Here we have a major second. Be bending up to the major third. We're gonna hold it to the major second, which is gonna sound like a 9 over F. Pretty nice. Nothing new to analyze over here, but this is going to be a 6/5 major third over F. Pretty nice. The chord progression goes to C and he plays this F major lick regardless. But it will sound like a 6/5, which is nice. Now these notes, the sus and the major second, we're not going to be bothered with that too much right now. So we have now the chord progression goes to B flat and he does something really cool, rock and roll. I'm not 100% sure he does this, but I think he does. So pretty cool. We have this major third for B flat. We're gonna overbend it all the way up to the 5th. Wow, that's some nice intonation right there. And there's something to be careful of because you sort of almost bend it all the way up off of the fretboard. So we have our major third, perfect 5th, perfect 5th, tonic. Now the next is going to be, of course you can translate this as an F minor blues lick, but because we play a B flat chord you can say this is a flat 7 and a perfect 5th. That's why it has this nasty edge. Right, progression goes back to F. I'm gonna play a Chuck Berry chord, Chuck Berry classic. We're not gonna bother too much with over analyzing this. I want to hear it is once more slowly. Really like how he plays his 2 strings at the same time, which in combination with the sound gives us this super raw sound. Okay, the chord progression goes back to the 5th degree chord, which is the C chord. That's nice and tuned. What he does here is really cool, I think. Here's what's happening, I think. Once more. Once more slowly. This is happening over a C chord, and obviously the thought behind this lick is, I suppose, a minor blues sonic world for the key of F. So if you analyze it over a C chord, you get way too jazzy and it doesn't make sense. But you get a tonic, a augmented fifth, and a sharp 9. But those are the wrong notes over a C major chord. But the lick sounds cool nevertheless. It's nasty. Now the chord progression goes back to B flat. This is going to be at like a 1 bar line. He sort of repeats the lick. Okay, last but not least, the chord progression goes back to F. We play this final line. So Keith Richards is not really known for playing a lot of legato style solos, but here he does a really good job, I think. Here's it once more slowly. Sorry for the D string buzzing away in the breeze. So we have a Chuck Berry style opening, flat 7 tonic, then we play flat 7 to perfect 5th pull off, tonic, and we close with. So here it is once more. Thank you very much for watching this, and please feel free to leave a comment here below. To me it's always great fun to go back to my favorite era of the Stones and sometimes relearn things as well. Please take care, behave, and we'll see each other soon.